Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel and back to another spooky Sunday video. Today we're going to read Let's Not Meet stories from Reddit. A lot of YouTubers do this, but like I always say, my Spooky Sunday series is very inspired by CJ. Love her channel and she reads a lot of Let's Not Meet stories, so I wanted to give it a go. But yeah, I have typed in Let's Not Meet on Reddit. Not the best with Reddit. I'm still learning how to use it, so I'm going to click on the Let's Not Meet thing, I guess. No, I have to be a member. Excuse me? Right, I need to find one that's got loads of stories. I don't understand Reddit, this is what I mean, like it's stressful. It says that I have to join the Let's Not Meet thing. It's a community. I have to sign up. I don't want to sign up. I found one. It's very long. It has quite a lot of comments and stuff, so hopefully this will be a good one. But it says, random guy outside the hospital, let's not meet again. So back in November 2020, I was in and out of hospital with testicular torsion 8 times altogether. Because why permanently fix a medical issue when you can temporarily fix it, I guess. Thanks, NHS. Oh, so this person's from the UK. And on my last time at one of the hospitals, I had called a taxi to go home, but it would take about 30 to 40 minutes to get to me because it was a Saturday in a city. Since there was going to be a bit of a wait, I decided to sit down in a bench/garden area just in front of the hospital. It was 3 AM, about 0 degrees Celsius, and I had been awake for 36 hours at that point. My taxi was on its way, and I just sat cross-legged on the bench, headphones in, nicotine keeping me alive. Everything was all fine until 10 minutes after. I noticed a guy very clearly walking directly towards me. He was stumbling a little bit, so I just assumed he was drunk. As he got on level with me, he stopped right in front of me and said something that I didn't hear. I looked up and said, "What? Sorry, I had music on," as I pulled them off. And he looked at me dead in the eye and just said, "I could fucking batter you right now." I'm laughing because I'm not experiencing it. I think if that happened to me, I would be crying, but I'm just imagining some dude doing that. It's not funny, okay? I'm sorry. Of everything I was expecting him to say that wasn't on the list, so caught off guard, I tried just disarming him with humour by saying, "I don't doubt it," which did work, thank God, because he would have absolutely pummeled me into the ground. See, they use humour too. We are alike. And every time I said that or something similar, he'd just say, "I could batter you. I want to deck you right here, right now. And I could take you in a fight," just to recall a few of them. This person sounds like they're on something for sure. After his anger had toned down, he sat on the bench next to me and started generally drunk rambling about his family and his friends, and very specifically his best friend's girlfriend that he was having an affair with. Then he pointed out my shoes, saying, "Those are nice, mate. Can I have them?" Obviously I said no firmly, but not aggressively. Then said thanks and told him about the fact I got them on sale. He said, "Can I touch them?" This is so weird. Which was immediately a big red flag. I politely declined and he started rubbing my shoe anyway. I was still sitting cross-legged on the bench. Then in one swift movement he grabbed my ankle, pulled my entire leg up to his face, put the entire toe of my size 11 Converses in his mouth. I started desperately looking around and I see the hospital police walking over. The officer asked if we were here together. He said yes. I said no. The officer then asked if he was a patient. I said yes. He said no. I told the officer I was just waiting for my taxi, and the guy rambled something I couldn't really make out to the officer, who suggested he move along. The guy stood up and gave me a handshake and walked off into the night. The officer obviously asked if I was okay, and I told him what happened. He was just as confused as I was. After that, my taxi was due in 5 minutes, so I went and stood on the opposite side of the hospital where the taxi rank was. I asked some friends who are familiar with a lot of drugs what he could have been on, and they are not oh fuck's sake, I can't say this word. Unanimously. I said it. Unanimously. Oh, now I've lost where I am in the story. That is good. Unanimously said meth, and the shoe thing was probably just a fetish. Random shoe biter outside hospital. Let's not meet again. That's so weird. I'm sorry I laughed through most of that. I think it's just when you're from the UK and I can picture the person they're describing in my head. I don't know what COVID rules were like because I'm guessing this was in COVID times, but I would have waited in the hospital if I was allowed, just because it's always safer, especially when it's like 3 AM or whatever. You don't know who you're going to meet, especially outside a hospital. There is a lot of people who have been maybe taken into A&E because of drugs or alcohol or whatever, and I don't know, it's just safer to wait inside. But I'm sorry I laughed through it. I'm sorry. I enjoyed it. It was a good story. Right, I'm gonna find another one. But like I said, they're trying to make me join a community, and to be honest, I'm not ready to join a community. I'm gonna have to, aren't I? I'm gonna have to sign up. I have made an account, so I'm now in the Let's Not Meet community, and I found one which has a lot of good comments about it being a very good story, so I'm gonna read it. And it says, I'm glad I got on the bus that night. It's pretty long as well. I don't know if you can see that. Oh my god, I thought I saw someone outside then. I'm getting so spooked by my own videos. Okay, it's pretty long, so we're just gonna get straight into it. So it says, I used to commute from a northern Colorado town near I-25 into Denver. It was not an easy commute. My day started incredibly early and involved prep for 14-hour days before driving to the park and ride lot to wait for the first bus. 2.5 hours over multiple stops into the city and 2.5 back. I did that for 6 months or so. Nearly every day I had to get to and from downtown. There is one night, however, that still haunts me when it's dark and I'm alone. Stop it. My computer bag would usually contain a meal for the day, a book to read, downloaded podcast episodes, writing tools, and an extra outfit to be comfier. Or at least that's what I told myself. The truth is more likely so that I'd appear more like the gender I was assigned. That day I wore one of my favourite skirt and top combos with a light jacket for when it got cold in the evening. I was filled with so much self-love in that morning mirror that I didn't pack a second outfit. It'll be fine, I thought to myself. There have been dozens, if not hundreds, of hecklers, gawkers, and Bible thumpers on these shared shuffles between cities. Most times I could ignore them with whatever I had on my phone, or take out the latest book I borrowed and flip through a chapter or two. That evening there was a small group of computers that stepped off the ride. A small group of computers. Oh my god, shut up, Khlo. Shut up, Khlo. Where am I? That evening ride, there was a small group of commuters, kids, that stepped off the ride. They each went their separate ways into town to pick up their cars or stroll on home. It seemed that I was alone. My commute planner app alerted me that my next ride wouldn't arrive for another hour and a half, maybe 2. Unexpected, though not unusual, I had been sitting most of the day, so I decided to walk around the stop a few times to stretch my legs and see a bit more of the neighbourhood. The chill that gripped my neck happened before my eyes could locate where it came from. There was a man dressed in jeans and a stained t-shirt who had been glaring at me for some time. I'm sorry, yeah, but that sentence was so good. I love how that sentence was written. The chill that gripped my neck happened before my eyes could locate where it came from. I love that sentence. That's so random, but I don't know. I just love how it's written. Anyway, there was a man dressed in jeans and a stained t-shirt who had been glaring at me for some time. Why do they always glare, trying not to freak out? I made my way into the commuter hub to use the facilities, grab water and get away from him. The building was set to close, but I stumbled inside and stayed in there as long as I could. He'll be gone soon, I thought. Then a different worry set in my head. I had to go back in case the bus arrived early and I involuntarily extended my evening there. I thanked the staff for waiting past closing time and slowly walked my way back to the bus stop. The street light hugging the hangar felt like my only remaining beacon of safety. To calm the nerves, I called my younger sister and tried to take my mind off things. I am so thankful for her willingness to drop what she's got for my phone calls, even now. I had almost forgotten I ever felt any sort of danger. From the edge of the light, a pair of worn brown work boots brought into view that same man from before. I may have screamed or lost my breath. Either way, my sister heard something change and I could hear her muffled voice both so close and so far away. Hey beautiful. It was a greeting I rarely had in these instances, and it was enough for me to bring me back to talking to my sister again. I struggled to keep my voice flat and my hand was pressing on the phone so hard my face felt like it would crack at any moment. The traveller said some other pleasantries in hopes of getting my attention. He must have seen me being on the phone as a challenge because he wouldn't stop calling for me. Hey, it's rude to ignore a guy when he's talking to you. He stepped closer and I felt the change in his tone the next time he spoke. Wait a minute, you're not. He didn't have to finish what he was thinking. This was the moment when socialization kicked in and spurred fragile men to end the lives of people like me. I won't repeat the slurs he threw at me because I don't remember them at all and because they are vile words no matter who tries to reclaim or make light of them. I remember still talking to my sister and staring at my feet for some time, trying to avoid giving this man any sort of contact. Hey, look at me. I panicked. My eyes locked on the figure in front of me. My grip stiffened and my face lost feeling when I saw he had a knife. I would be terrified. Tears started falling down my face at some point, but I remember mouthing something like I'm on the phone to him and trying not to lose whatever composure I thought I had. He stepped back slightly, then paced a small perimeter to try limiting my movement to the hangar. My sister at one point asked something about the yelling, but I had dismissed it with some lie. I couldn't give him any reason to approach me. To this day, I still don't know how long the entire interaction lasted. Whatever fixation he had developed for me that night weaned, and after a few choice words and threats against my life, he walked out of the streetlight and off into the town. I was still stone crying or letting the tears fall down my face as I continued the conversation with my sister. It wasn't until some time after I got on the bus that I broke my frozen facade and bawled into her everything that had happened. I called off work. I drove to Denver for the following week. No matter how expensive or emotional I got about highway travelling, my safety was more important each time, every time. To the man that went out of his way to make my nightmares a reality, I hate that I hear you when a branch breaks on my walks, that I feel you when anything flickers past my peripheral. Maybe I should talk to someone about this instead of writing about it online. All I know is I have to say something about this man now, otherwise I'll continue to lose faith in ever meeting anyone new ever again. That is horrible. I think that's everyone's worst nightmare, is encountering someone creepy at night time and then your gut feeling turning out to be right. And I agree, like for me, if I'm going to a long far away place, I would much rather get public transport, because driving is scary, and especially if you have an anxiety disorder, driving can be one of the most terrifying things in the world, especially if you're driving a long way away and you're out of your comfort zone. So I can relate to them that they obviously decided to use public transport rather than driving, but at the same time it's never the safest option really. But it shouldn't be like that. We should be able to go to work or go out with our friends or go to a city without being scared that we're going to be murdered. Hey everyone, it's Editing Khlo here. Thought I was going to be finished with everything that I had to say, but I realised that I missed out a huge point of something that I believe in. If you carry a knife, you're a pussy. Only pussies carry knives. We need to end knife crime. It is a huge problem in the UK and a huge problem everywhere. Sorry, I know that sounded quite abrupt and it may even offend some people, but at the end of the day, speaking to people like that sometimes is the only way to get through to them. And I am sick of seeing young children being killed, especially young men being killed because of knife crime. It's all over the newspapers all the time. With studying criminology at university, we learn a lot about youth crime and knife crime and gangs, and it's hard to learn about. It's sad. There's a lot of people's lives that get ruined or lost and they didn't need to be. And I know sometimes people get caught up in the wrong crowd of people, but I just think we need to end knife crime. I don't know if there's anything we can do about it in the same way that we did about guns. I know you may be scared, I know you might be carrying it for that reason, but I promise that it's just not worth it. It's not worth ruining your own life, it's not worth ruining someone else's life, murdering someone. It's just not good. And I'm just sick of hearing about young people being taken away from knives, and I was gonna not give my opinion on it, but at the end of the day I have an opinion and I write all this stuff in my university essays. I think that knife crime needs to be stopped to save people, not to be a dick, because I want people to stay alive and be safe. But yes, back to the video. Let me know if you want me to do more Let's Not Meet stories. I think if I do, I'm gonna pre-read them because I want to make sure that the stories I'm reading are good and I don't waste my time spending 10 minutes reading a story and then it turns out to be really, really bad. But if you like the Let's Not Meet vibes, I will read through a bunch of stories, collect some ones that I think that you will like, and we will continue the Let's Not Meet reading stories series here on Spooky Sunday. But if you liked the video, please remember to subscribe and smash a massive thumbs up, and until next time, I will see you guys soon. Peace.